I mostly get stuck with Splat zones nowadays. Am I S rank in Rainmaker? Oh, there's a new piece of headgear. Yeah, it is November now. We may do that. That could be fun. Because I always try... I've only missed out on one so far just because I completely spaced it 1 month. Yeah, hello, what's up? And welcome to Splat and Chat number 9. We'll get the show started here in a minute. We got some things to do. Let's look at foot stuff, shirt stuff, hat stuff, and gun stuff. Oh yeah, there's no new weapon yet. That'll probably be before the Splatfest next week. Anything good? Anything good around the lobby? Oh yeah, R.I.P. Inklings. Or Octolings. Everyone is dead. Gosh, some of this gear, man. Work hard. That actually is, with everything combined, the gloves and all that, that's actually a nice... It all coheses together really well. Alright, let's head in here. So, we've got... So, as I said yesterday, while doing the Smash Direct, I was like, we may do Splat and Chat. We may do, Oh god, I hate the Clash Blaster. We may have done Wind Waker. I decided to... Let's do Splat and Chat. We'll do Wind Waker next week. I haven't slept in days, man. I had a paper to write. Took forever. I finished it, though. I finished it a few hours ago, actually. Where is Splat and Chat number 9? This is probably the map I've admittedly played the least. Okay, so it's... Now, like I said, this was supposed to be in like 2 weeks. Because I had originally planned for this to be the one on the same day when Pokemon came out. That was the plan anyways. And now, that's not happening. We honestly maybe... I always say I want to make this like a weekly show, as much as I love that. So, we may be back to Pokemon. This is loud and loud. Is it loud to you? Because it's very loud. Yeah, So yeah, this was originally supposed to be on the 17th, which is the same day, Pokemon Let's Go comes out, and we're going to talk about that. But now that that's not happening, what's the point? We will still talk about Pokemon, but I do still have plans to talk about that. Because there are some things that have been really popular. Gosh, come on, we need one more. Where are you? This is not going to end for us. I'm only going to play this the minimum amount I need to get the hat, even if it's not good. Ooh, Brella. You know what, Brella? Well, I don't think Brella's that great in this mode. I love the overclock umbrella and that you can get occasionally. I don't see it very often, but whenever you see it, it's cool. So, of course, our main topic for tonight, which we might as well just start off with, is, of course, the Ultimate Direct. It's been all everyone's been talking about, and we got a bunch of things to talk about with it. Let's start off with our new characters. Let's start off with the first two. Ken and Incineroar. I don't in theory have a problem with Incineroar. I mean, I think he's a fine character. Out of everyone, there are definitely people I wanted more. And just like, I'm specifically saying Pokemon. Like, I would have much rather had Eevee or Mimikyu or Decidueye. I said my problem with Incineroar is that he feels like a lowest common denominator type of thing, right? Like, he's so obvious. Of course they do it. Because he's too obvious. That's my problem with Incineroar. I think he's a fine fighter. His moveset looks fine. I like how he taunts after every attack. That's actually that's a really neat little thing. Kind of like Bayonetta's super taunt, right? You know what I'm talking about. It's just one of those cool details that I'm totally on board with. And yeah, the more I've seen of him, the more I've warmed up to him. It's weird, though, that I still find it weird that he was the final fighter revealed. I might as well say the Clash Blaster is the weapon I am the worst with. Like, easily by far. Like, I am not good with blasters. Never have been. I tried using the Wii Blaster once. And it went horribly wrong. Yeah, Incineroar. Yeah, because it's a weird one to end off with. I would have much rather had them save Simon and Grandma for the final reveal. Right, Simon and Richter, and then do Incineroar when they did that, right? And of course, that one still would have been, the August Direct still would have been strong because you had King K. Rool. King K. Rool was a strong character. That would have, right? While Incineroar may not have been that great, King K. Rool would have. I guarantee you it would have. This is not cool. Shoot. I felt like I missed all the shots like that. Oh no, we just went away! Oh my god, we were so close to clutching that. Ugh. I'm still gonna get like 100. The second round went surprisingly well. Pay grade retained. Yep, we got at least 100. Just one more. But yeah, Ken I expected, right? Even if the leak was real or fake, the rumor leak. I hate that. You know, I hate that we call them leaks, even though they're not. They're rumors. I always think of the Joe Maverick, the guy who runs Cerebi. He does a tweet every time about it. Right? Every time a leak pops up. And yeah, but no, Ken is something I expected. The original Echo Fighter. Cool. I think his moveset is cool, right? I think he works. Speaking of the leak, this is something I wanted to bring up because I didn't personally see any of this, but I heard people talking about it. Game explains with the leak. So Game Explains didn't want to cover the leak. They came out with their original thoughts on it, saying that they thought it was fake. Oh my god, I got the e-reader. Oh my god, a sniper is by far my worst weapon. But they came out and said that, yeah, the leak is fake, which is what I expected. Derek Bittner has been so burned by leaks so many times that for him to say, oh, this one might be real, no, it would completely, no matter how much evidence was presented, because that's not how it works for them, and I didn't expect it. And then they just didn't talk about it, they didn't talk about like anything that came after it, the whole Isaac stuff, which, well, yeah, I know it's not 100% perfect. The Isaac's thing that happened with Isaac and the Little Mac was really interesting. There was one person who was like, oh, it's disrespectful, right? It's disrespectful because, oh, people died. And I feel like they were, whoever said that was like missing the point of what was actually said. But yeah, I guess people were giving Game Explains a bunch of shit for covering it, and for not covering it, and not believing in it. Which, yeah, that's cool. They don't deserve that. It was their choice not to cover it. Even if they had covered it, they were gonna say it was a lie, because that's, I mean, you've been following, right? If you followed them for long enough, you know how they work. Just gotta survive. Oh my god, you couldn't even survive. Oh, did someone disconnect? Oh, okay. I still got pay cut. We were so close as well. And of course I gotta do one more now. You always gotta do one more. And then we'll go to Rainmaker where I'll get my ass kicked. Because I'm now else ranking Rainmaker. That happened at some point. I cannot believe I'm level 40. Like, I don't even know if I ever reached 30 in the original Splatoon. Am I 40 or am I 30? No, I must be 40. That's crazy for me. Like, that's the power of this show. It is getting me to play this game long enough to get to that rank. Yeah, overall, giving Game Explains shit for it, no, they don't deserve it. They did what I expected them to. Yeah, and of course, I will admit, there was right after it happened, again, I didn't actually see any of what happened to them. I was just told that kind of after, like, either the day of or right after the fact that it had happened. And when I was told, I don't actually know what was said, but it is. Oh my god, my brain just completely farted out right there. It's what they got. Oh yeah, Andre made a tweet like immediately after Incineroar, where he was like, "Yeah, and see, I told you it was smart of us not to cover the leak." And, yeah, I see where they're coming from. I don't know, it came off as smug, which... It came off not only as smug, but, like, as trying to divide the fandom. Right? Like, oh, look at us, we were right. Which, I mean, shit's on the president for dividing us. I hope he wouldn't. But, whatever. I'm still gonna because it's still... Don't be a smug ass. And I will point out, like, Incineroar was leaked still. Like, people knew about Incineroar as early as, I want to say July even. Like, that had been the talk. There had been sources that had come out and said Incineroar. So even if you didn't believe in the Grinch leak, Incineroar and Ken were still leaked. Ken was leaked last month, I think, maybe 2 months ago. Ken was leaked at some point. God, I have this. Right, nothing went without being leaked. The only thing that did was, there's always like 4chan leaks the day of, but the only thing that didn't get leaked was PD Piranha, which did catch me off surprise, admittedly, and we will get to that. Oh, will we get to that? Yeah, that's just everything that happened with Dynasty. So, next up was Spirits. Spirits is the big problem with the direct. I don't actually think there was anything wrong with the actual maid itself, but they spent so much time on it, and the way it was presented just made it look so boring. Like, the way they showed Spirits, a lot of people are talking about it's basically event mode, which they're not wrong, but Spirits also play into the World of Light, but they didn't explain that. They did a bad job at explaining it. Which, that was the big problem. And it took too long, and there are tons of people who just don't give a shit about Smash Bros. DLC, or about Smash Bros. Single player. I mean, I've been watching some reactions, and a lot of them are like, oh, why do I care? I'm not going to play it. But if doing Spirits is what unlocks all the characters, I guarantee you everyone's probably going to play it because it's probably going to be the easiest way to get every character. I mean World of Light. Spirits is a completely different thing. That could go either way. It could go really well, it could go really bad, who knows. Though from the way some people talk about it, it feels like some people, like, because you go in, you do these events, you fight these battles based around fighters, but the way some people talk, they make it seem like it's a gachapon thing, which I don't think it is. It doesn't seem like it anyways. At least that's the way I look at it. Because it didn't feel like a gachapon thing. Yeah, there were some aspects, but for the most part, it's just you fight a battle and you get a JPEG. Because now I will admit, I'm one of those people who will miss trophies. Trophies were neat, but I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to add more, they're trying to do more interesting things with trophies, and Spirits is that more interesting dynamic. So fine. I'm fine. It's kind of like, it's still gonna, I'll say that later. I got a lot to say, but Spirits Mode, they spent way too much time on it. And don't get me wrong, I expected them to. Like there's a lot of modes in here, like where they talk about health mode and tips and tricks and all this stuff that just the general public doesn't really care about. But I expect them to talk about it because they always do. These games are such a game. Of course he's going to talk about these modes. Like, of course he's going to bring up health, even though nobody will. And I'm fine with that. Some people complained about that was one of the problems with the Direct. But he's done it before. That's what he did in the 50 Facts About Smash Bros. Was that it was all just tips and tricks, right? So yeah, no, I expected help. Yeah, can it slog? Definitely. And then the whole way Spirits work, this is kind of confusing at first. I've watched the Direct at least. I've watched a bunch of reactions. I've watched the actual Direct twice, and I've watched like a person fully react to it once, plus there's like other stuff in there. Like, I've probably seen at least 100 people react to Piranha Plant, because of course I have. But how it works is you got a primary spirit, which is the power, and then you have a secondary spirit, which gives you the attributes. These are helping you in battle, and they also work in World of Light. Yeah, cool. Sure. I feel like they over-explained it. Like, it feels, like, just looking at it, it seems a lot simpler than it actually, like, than the way they explained it. It's weird, I don't actually like the, I think that's quick respawn. Yeah, I don't care for quick respawn. Just gonna stick with the standard gear, as always, Splat Bella. And then, yeah, spirit battles, they're based around fighters, and it does bring up some interesting potential. Because at least, like, every battle is theoretically custom designed, which makes it more interesting overall. Oh, the woofer just walked up and he smells like, and he clearly just went to the bathroom. Oh my god, he smells horribly. Bright spirits, there's enhanced spirits that you gain by leveling up. It's all just, it won't like last like another 50 hours, and I don't feel like it's artificially extending the game, because it's a fighting game, right? You can't, it's just another mode. I do wonder if you can like make a spirit fighter and battle your friends. Like, if Spirits has a Smash mode within it, where you can create your custom spirits that do things and then fight your friends with their custom spirits. I wonder if that's in the game? I can't actually tell. It could be. It could not be. Really, they did a weird job at explaining it. Another mode they explained was there's a handicap mode, which I actually think is really... What is it, Woofer? He keeps dropping his ball underneath my desk. Oh my gosh, did you just drink water? Oh my gosh, his snoot is so wet. Yes, who's a crybaby? Yes, Woofer, who's a good boy? I can't play and pet you at the same time, so choose one or the other. Yeah, no, this isn't gonna work. Woofer, I'll pet you in a minute. Give me a minute. Because you are the good boy. You deserve the pets. But yeah, so there's a handicap mode which decreases the amount of damage you do, which I think is the smart way to do a handicap mode. I'm glad they're actually doing it, because I probably won't use at least the negative aspect of it. I may use the positive, yeah, like I may boost someone just because I play with people who are not as experienced. There you go get it. So yeah, no, a handicap, I wonder how like I want it to be conveniently like laid out. If it isn't, that's going to make things more complicated, to say the least. Of course, the other guy was taking the hits for me. I'm just losing my mind right now. I haven't slept in... if you saw the Smash reaction, I had a paper due in like a day, and I stayed up all night just writing that freaking paper. I turned it in at like 5. God. Okay. Yeah, handicap mode, DLC. This is something... I didn't actually know if they were going to talk about this. I kind of figured they were going to, but who knew? Like, I could have seen it going either way. But yeah, so DLC 5 packs, and they did confirm, I was wondering as the direct was going on, if PD Piranha was one of these 5 packs. And no, he's not. He's a completely separate thing. You know how, like, I equate it to, like, most other games when they're developing. There's that time when the game is basically finished, and they're just doing, like, the final steps, putting it on disc and all that stuff, and release. And usually, right, you have just a development team sitting around, so usually they'll work on stuff, like... I'm talking about modern game design, basically. they'll work on stuff usually in bad games. It usually comes in the form of cosmetic launch day DLC. I'm thinking Evolve, because that's exactly why Evolve had launch day DLC. It was because the dev team was just sitting around with nothing to do, so they're like, hey, let's do some cosmetic on-disc DLC. That sounds fun, right? What even killed... It was a guy from behind. God. It is not going well for me today. I'm losing my freaking mind. But yeah, PD Piranha is one of those where the development team was just kind of sitting around as they were working on other stuff. And you know, I don't blame them. God. I also have a bite on my lip, and every time I'm like, when I make the specific sound, I bite into it. God, this is just not going well for me. We can... But yeah, so it's 5 packs, one with a character and stages. But let's talk about PD Piranha. So PD Piranha, I remember being just like, what? Why PD Piranha? And there were some revelations I came to afterwards, specifically like, one of the big arguments against Bandana D was that he was just a Waddle, even though anyone who's actually played a Kirby game knows he's more than just a Waddle D. And calling him just a Waddle D is not giving him nearly enough credit. But story for another day. But the big argument against Bandana D was that, hey, if Bandana D makes it in the game, then why can't you just put a Gooba, put a Goober in the game? Because Goombas are just generic enemies. Goobers would be perfect, right? Because if Bandana D can make it in, anything can make it in. It was a flawed argument from the beginning, but now that Piranha Plant's in, I keep wanting to call him Piranha PD because that's what I know him as. I assume Piranha PD is half the, like, Piranha PD's appearance in Brawl is half the reason he made it in. Piranha PD was big in Brawl. Just that opening scene with the cages, iconic. More when I say iconic, I think more in the Ubisoft sense than like the actual meaning of the word. Better than Ubisoft, but you know what I mean. So yeah. But that's I bet a major reason. But I was like, what? This is weird. This is stupid. This is gonna sound pretentious, but like I can think of at least a dozen other characters who deserve a slot more. But you know, I'm so sick of people saying this. Every time a new character revealed, they're always like, oh my god, this means anything is possible. Sonic and Snake. Oh, Sonic and Snake are in the game. Anything's possible. Oh, Wii Fit Trainer's in the game. Anything's possible. Oh, Cloud's in the game. Anything's possible. Ridley's in the game. Anything's possible. Simon Belmont. Anything's possible. PD Piranha. Anything's possible. I'm so sick of every time a new character gets added, people just say, oh, now that this character's in the game, anything's possible. No, anything has been possible for years now. Do we actually even have it? Someone take it, please. God damn. But yeah, no, the real one, well, you could make an argument Snake is the one where it's like, after Snake, anything was possible. I agree, but I also think, Wii Fit Trainer. Wii Fit Trainer was just so out there that I think that's the character that proves that anything is possible. At least that's how that's how I feel anyways. Because she's just random and weird, and then Cloud reconfirmed that, but sorry for another day. I think, yeah, it's stupid, because it's clearly, like, a lot of people are like, oh, the Sakurai bias. Which, if you say that, like, fuck off, man. It's his game, he can do whatever the hell he wants. If you want to do something different, then you make the damn game. Because, yeah, no, I think Yeah, Kirby being the last man standing? Yeah, sure. Plus, it's also been pretty well established that Kirby has powers, like infinite power that rivals a god, that may be even stronger than a god. Right? So, yeah, no, Kirby being that makes perfect sense. Kirby being able to survive. But you know, I am tired of the whole thing about, what is it, Sonic? Sonic could have escaped if he wanted to, but instead he stayed back for Pikachu. Sonic couldn't have escaped. I'm gonna say it, real talk. The only reason Kirby escaped was because he was in another dimension. While the whole Pikachu thing is sweet, no, it was not because Pikachu that he died. He stayed back. No, that's bullshit. Sonic was going to die no matter what. Accept the truth. Accept it. I just completely went off track. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, Bandana D. So I do think Bandana D has a legitimate chance of being a character. Like, his chance just rose from, like, I'm gonna give him a generous 30 to, like, a fair, probably a 50% chance. I'll be generous. I'm actually gonna be, not generous isn't what I was looking for. I'll be fair. Right, 50 is a fair number for a DLC, because we have 5 DLC characters. They could be anything. Other characters that I think have a good chance are, who else? Bandana D has a fair chance. Anything from the new Fire Emblem game has a good chance. I know people are sick of Fire Emblem, but Fire Emblem's Nintendo's 3rd biggest franchise in Japan. Much like how Metroid's its 3rd biggest franchise here. And that clearly shows Nintendo's priorities. And also on the Sakurai bias, if the Sakurai bias was real, Kirby would have more than 3 characters. Spitting hard truths right there, man. But it's not real. Where is it, man? I'll follow you. Protect me. I'm not trying to retreat, you piece of garbage. War strategy tells us that only the strong survive. You got something for me over here? At least I got the Rainmaker closer than anybody else could. But yeah, so other DLC, Bandana D, Banjo-Kazooie, I think still has actually a fair chance. I really do. I think, while not, it's probably only down to, right now I'd argue it's about, well, not fair, but I think he actually has a chance. I'd argue like 10%. He has a 10% chance. But if they announce a Banjo-Kazooie game or a remake, which I'll talk about, I think his chances increase to like 30 or 40. Which no, we'll talk about it. I gotta get all the Smash Bros. Stuff. I'm already unfocused as is. I'm all over the place in my freaking, I keep biting my stupid lip. Oh god, it hurts. And it's like a giant swell as well. Ah. But yeah, those are 2 characters. The characters I don't think will make it, anyone who's an assist trophy. Shadow, Isaac, Skull Kid got confirmed on the website. And yeah, those 3, nope. I'd argue 1% chance. If they're an assist trophy, which is still technically fine, at least they're getting some sort of representation. I said the same thing about Shovel Knight. At least they're getting something. They still have some sort of chance. At least they're still in the game, but it's a 1% chance. Let's be real here. I doubt they're gonna like remove an assist trophy. Waluigi, we're not getting Waluigi. Maybe next time, people. Not like there will ever be a next time, because this is the greatest game ever made. Maybe when they port it onto the Switch 2 or whatever they end up calling it. The Switch. with 2 eyes. But, same thing, Mii costumes. I think Mii costumes also have a 1%, which includes my boy Rex. Rex is complicated, because the way Sakurai talks about Rex, because I guess he has a blog or something where he talks about games. That's where the whole Sans from Undertale being in Smash comes from, because he did an entire thing about why he loved Undertale on his blog or whatnot. So that's where that came from. Plus, Undertale is also like super popular in Japan, as well as it here in America. Oh god, I didn't play Dota. God, next time we'll have to talk about Dota. I have not played it, admittedly. But yeah, but Undertale is super popular. I know some people get really pissed because I don't know, they saw Skeleton Dick once, but no, it's still a fun. Undertale is still a great game. It really is. People are, just because it was popular and some horrible things happen there, people get way too mean. God, why would I hit him like 3 times? Wow, that's a lot of speed gear. I think I love swing speed. Where was I going with that? I don't even know where the Rainmaker is. I haven't seen it. You want it? I'll take it. God, okay, you're doing more than other people, but not by much. At least trying to get over the wall for a second. Today is just not my day. I'll fully admit that. Where was I going? But yeah, Rex, so with Sakurai, he made a post about how much he loved Xenoblade 2. And that's why when you listen to him talk about Rex game and how he couldn't make it, it feels like he genuinely wanted Rex to be in there, but he just couldn't. Now, I don't think that disqualifies him from DLC, because like they said, they haven't started working on DLC yet. Which is the proper way DLC should be done. It shouldn't be like cut content, or if it is stuff that didn't make it into the game, it should be for free. Nintendo is the only company that gets DLC and does good DLC, and the only reason they do is because they don't get how the video game industry works. Or they're so disconnected, I mean, that they're like 10 steps ahead of everyone else. Like, I'm not even joking. That's why, like, they're so, like, their DLC practices are so progressive and, like, user-friendly because because they have no idea what the modern game industry is doing. Except for in the mobile games, which is pretty sure. I mean, I think they're working with another company to do those. It sucks that there's only one way up. The only way is to either go up or around that wall. As far as I know, there's no way to get up through, like, this side. Yep, nope, there's no way to get up through this side of the crevice. That kind of freaking sucks. But yeah, so Rex, as much as I want him, I would have much rather not have the costume and still had hope that he would be a DLC, because I think he only has a 1% chance to have the costume. It breaks my heart, but it's probably true. That's probably what's going to end up happening, is that he's not going to make it in because of that stupid freaking costume. Because they decided to prioritize that. I did a post on Twitter that summed it up perfectly. I'll show it to you here in a second, just because I have it running around on the computer. Come on. God, I cannot aim worth shit tonight. Yeah, no, I cannot aim a shot worth shit. Did we lose the Rainmaker at some point, or did it, like, reset? Because I tried to clear a pathway for the guy, but... Oh god, you're so freaking slow. Ow. Shit. I'm losing my track of focus like every 10 seconds. I should just switch over to Bodhi. It's so much. And of course we lose the lead in the final freaking second. God. But yeah, so I don't think Rex is coming. Anything else is possible. Prawn Plant for free. The game is available pre-purchase. Cool. It's out in like 4 weeks. Awesome. Well, 5 weeks, I think. It'll be out December 1st. Cool. DLC price. I realized the reason the DLC was so much more expensive because everything added up was like 30 bucks. It was like 60 bucks, not including like the Mii costumes. I realized the reason for that was because because you were buying it if you were buying it for both Wii U and 3DS, which I always did. And the reason it's only 25 bucks this time around is that you're doing it for one system. Did you see that post going around where it was that guy? And again, this is probably like 1 or 2 assholes. They're definitely in the minority, but it was like, oh, Sakurai makes the joke about how he shouldn't be how he needs a break, which give the man a break. He deserves it. He does deserve it. Plus I also want to see him make another Kid Icarus game. Or make another Kirby game. I know it's been a while since he's worked on one, and that was his original baby. I'd be down for another Kirby game. But yeah, no, but because of that, it's only 25 bucks. I think Breath of the Wild's DLC more expensive? Breath of the Wild's was probably also 20. Still never bought that. Never did buy that. We have some new Amiibo. We have, so there's the first wave, which is same day as launch. You have Inklings, Ridley, and Wolf. Okay. Plus also the Octoling Amiibos come out that same day. It adds up. I feel like every time I play Splat Turf War, it's always, this map is always on rotation. I feel like this is always the map on rotation. Like every Splat and Chat I play this one, and I'm so tired. It's not, it has some good moments, but it's not a great map. I'll admit that. Movement is very predictable, and I'm horrible at predicting it on my app. But then in February, the second set of Amiibo come out, and the second set is technically it's K. Rool, or wait, God, I'm trying to look. It's K. Rool, Ice Climbers, and Piranha Plant. It's amazing because usually the DLC Amiibos take forever, even though in Wii U, like the way they distributed Amiibo in Wii U is really weird because there were some figures that took like 1,000 times longer than others. It was so weird how they did it. Like some characters that had been there since the beginning didn't get released until like near the end, like with everyone else. There's at least one. I don't remember which. I'd have to look it up. And then later in 2019, probably April or May, May, I'll call it right now May, Isabelle, Pichu, Ken, Young Link, and Daisy. And then the other DLC fighters will probably come in September or November or December, right? Along with, of course, and maybe, I don't know, if they're taking a leg up and like maybe trying to like proactively do Amiibo, we could have them all by the time the final DLC comes out. We also couldn't. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, we've got all these new Amiibo. That's I didn't add it up, but I still think it's stupid that Amiibos went up in price. They now cost an extra $4, and Amiibos were cheap. I mean, they weren't cheap. They were like $12. But still, they used to, like, anyone could get an Amiibo. Now they just do feel like actual, like, DLC on games, even though they're just a freaking figure. I mean, if I wanted a professional figure, I could probably get a professional figure for 2 Amiibo. I'm losing my mind. It was not a great idea to do Splat and Chat tonight. I'll fully admit that. I feel like I'm losing my freaking mind. Let's see. We have 2 fighter online, 2 fighters being able to play online. Cool, whatever. I probably won't use it. No more for fun and for glory. Instead, you choose what options you want. Some people are complaining already that this isn't, like, as diverse as they wanted it to be. Like, they wanted more fighter options. They wanted more choices. They wanted more freedom to choose what they want. And even if they ask for something, they're not always going to get what they want, because, well, it does feel like, because Nintendo has said they're doing dedicated servers for Smash Bros., they're still kind of doing it in a weird way. It kind of reminds me of, like, Evolve, where you'd say, like, oh, I want to be this class, and then you always get stuck with the Hunter. You could put Monster as your #1 priority, you will always be the Hunter. God, remember Evolve, and what a piece of shit that was? Why do I keep thinking about Evolve? Ugh. But I do think it's better. It's better than For Fun and for Glory. At least it's giving you some sort of flexibility. There's a smartphone app, Smash World, that does, and we know it's for video. We don't actually know anything other than that. It could do anything. Honestly, thinking about it, I have no idea what a Smash app would do. Maybe if it, like, helps you find friends, that would be a neat thing to do, as crazy as that sounds, and as sad as that sounds. But really, I have no idea what an app would do. Nintendo still hasn't. They had this idea of this online app, and then they clearly showed that they have no idea what to do with it. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. There's an online lobby mode, which is, I think it's only for Elite Battle, if I'm looking at it correctly, because it has a similar matchmaking system, or at least Elite Mode has a similar to ranked battles in ARMS, where you sit in a lobby and wait for the ranked battle to happen, which is a system that I do think can work. Right? It's a system I'm in theory fine with. And then, yeah, there's Elite Smash. That's how they're going to be balancing the game. So hopefully Bayonetta won't be a broken piece of trash anymore. I will admit, I do definitely, out of every Smash game, I still stand by, even though a lot of people will argue Melee is the greatest competitive game. I think that's honestly by accident. Like, I don't think Melee was designed with competitive in mind. That's more like a byproduct of it. And that's Smash is interesting because it's maybe the only fighting game that puts fun before being a fighting game. That's why it's the greatest fighting game. And I know some competitive people hate that. Brawl's a great example of something that puts fun before fighting. And I think Brawl gets way too much shit sometimes. Brawl is a great game. It has great moments. I have the most fond memories of it. But Smash puts fun first, and that's why it's so beloved. That's why it's the greatest fighting game, because it's not catering. Like, look at someone like modern fighting games, Mortal Kombat X, Injustice 2, the garbage that was Street Fighter 5. It's clear they wanted to be this, like, esports fighting game. Like, that was their big priority, because there's money in esports. But it just kind of right? Those games weren't. I mean, Mortal Kombat X, I didn't really play. I played somewhat. I'm one of those spammer people. But, Street Fighter 5 sucked. I don't think anyone liked Street Fighter 5. I don't he oh my god, I don't think I've won a single match tonight. Okay, I won that one thing of turf, of freaking salmon run, but it's just not my night. It is seriously just not my night. And I still have to write. Well, I have to do. Oh my god, I've talked about this before. My history teacher is insane. Her tests are longer than all my midterms. Not combined, not all my midterms combined, but like 2 of my midterms combined equal one of her tests, and we do them every week. I have to do that either tomorrow or later tonight. Well, later tonight would be. It's technically tomorrow because it's 1 a.m. Ugh, Elite Smash. Smash tag. Oh, cute, right? It's dog tag mode, but there's no actual dog tags. What is it called in Call of Duty? Kill confirmed. Yeah, cool, whatever. Sure. It's just some cute little thing. There's hands-on events that are going to have all the fighters. We've had some interesting things come out of those. I feel like we've seen some like final smashes for the first time, or at least we probably are going to have. Yoshi had a new final smash. We saw Incineroar Kirby. That looks like Incineroar Kirby looks like he's got like an Incineroar hat. That's adorable. We saw Daisy's final smash at some point. I think that was on the direct stream. And then finally, World of Light. The more I see of World of Light, the more I love it. This is going to be amazing. It's focusing on. Yeah, it's not like a. It's an adventure mode, and it is putting focus on fighting. You know, in a fighting game. I think it looks good. I think it'll be fun. It's probably not going to have like the cutscenes of Self-Space Emissary, and I don't actually remember adventure mode from Melee. I'm not a Melee guy personally. I don't even own a copy of Melee. There are very few things worse than Melee. I get why people love Melee. It's just it will never, and I mean never, be my thing. I would probably buy a copy at some point, though, just to, like, have it in my collection. But World of Light looks great, the oval, right? I know some people people will always find problem in something, but I think it looks fun. There's a world map to explore. I like the idea of starting off with just Kirby, and then moving up. Yeah, that leads to a lot of great potential. Shit. And then the theme... Lifelight is amazing. I listened to it all while writing my paper. That was just all because listen, if you ever have to like do a slog like writing a paper or something like that, listen to video game music. It does the trick, and Lifelight was just great at it. So good. I love that. Well, I can't say anything definitively. It's starting to win me over. It is it's over Brawl's theme. I've always loved Brawl's theme. And I'm not a video game music guy. Never have been. I didn't, because I mostly played portable games up until, I still do honestly mostly play portables. I mean, we're playing on the Switch right now. But because I'm mostly a portable guy, I usually like to play in rooms with other people with music off, and that kind of got me to care less and less about video game music. It's complicated to say the least. Where are they? Yeah. But World of Light looks great. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm super excited to play it. And while I don't know if we'll do it on stream, I doubt it. Who knows? Who knows? I have no idea how long it looks, honestly. I don't think Melee Adventures mode was that long. It only took a few hours. So Space Emissary. This looks pretty long. Hopefully not long enough to overstay its welcome, because that's completely possible. But yeah. Overall, with the Direct, I am thinking about it and thinking about everything that happens, is a lot better than watching it. Because there's a bunch of things I skipped over. Language options are always something I see requested, so it's cool they're there. Help, info, videos, right? Just a lot of stuff I skipped over because there are details that people don't really care about. But Sakurai put effort into them, so he's going to show them off. I'd kind of be disappointed if he didn't. I feel like they could have structured the direct better. Maybe, like I talked about in Incineroar, maybe they should have done Incineroar in August and saved Simon Belmont for this month. Right? I think that would have been more epic with, right? Structuring it as just like a typical Smash Direct, like ones we've seen in the past, made it feel a lot slower. I like how they did the 50 facts thing a few years back. That was a lot more engaging. But overall, I still, the Direct's like a 7 or an 8 out of 10. It's still fine. The information is fine, right? But it's not the greatest Direct. I don't know. The August Direct just went in. It gave us exactly what we needed. It was I think it was like 20, 30 minutes. Short and sweet. It gave us like 5 characters for this. Well, 2 original characters and like 3 echoes. But people like echoes now, which I'm still impressed Sakurai was able to pull it off and make people like echoes. That's impressive. Because that was not an easy thing to do. I remember when 4 came out, people adamantly hated clones. Just adamantly against clones. So to see rebranding them to echoes just made people like them more. And of course, I mean, there are complications still. Isabelle's a great example of a complication. She may be an echo, she may be a clone. How do we define a clone? Do we count, like, melee characters as clones who were basically clones, but they're not counted as clones for some reason? Right? It's not perfectly defined, but I don't really care. I'm just never someone who hated it. There are definitely people who do. But I was never one of them. It never really bothered me. And yeah, that's everything in the Direct. I'm still excited for the game. It's probably going to be, I've said this before, it's probably going to be the best game of all time. I mean, it plays like 4, and it's better than 4. 4 was already amazing. We shall see. I mean, World of Light could disappoint. I don't know, it's complicated. That'll probably be a big defining feature between... But I still think the core gameplay is still going to be 10 out of 10. Right? There's nothing we can do about that. I wonder if it'll usurp Red Dead Redemption as best game ever made. No one game critics, who knows. I actually do think it's kind of bullshit that Red Dead's best game of all time. Or best game of this generation, even though I'd argue... Smash is in the next generation, because we are at the tail end of the 8th console generation. The 9th console generation, I'd argue the Switch is the first console in the 9th console generation, which is just going to expand with Project Scarlet or whatever they're calling next Xbox and the PS5. Right? I talked about this last month, that we are getting ready for the 5th console generation. It's coming. It's sooner than we think. And that makes things complicated. But I'd argue the Switch is the first console of the 9th generation. I think it's 9th generation. That's weird. God, console generations are weird. They're actually not, but I always just forget them, like, just off the top of my head. Because Odyssey, Atari, NES, SNES, N64, GameCube, Wii. Yeah, 9th generation is the Switch. At least that's how I consider it. I know some places do it differently. We shall see. I've said it before, it's like the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast came out in '98, but I do consider it as part of the 6th generation with the GameCube and the PS2 and the Xbox. Let's see. And yeah, that's everything for Smash Bros. Let's go back to the Splat and Chat list. I should get some water. God, but I started a match. I have the Grinch leak on here because I didn't know when this was happening. The Grinch leak, I guess for anyone who just completely avoided it, it had Ken, Shadow, Banjo, Chorus, Kids, Mock Bike Rider, which that was the weirdest one, honestly. If it was the Excite Bike Rider, I probably would have believed it more. Gino, and oh yeah, Gino still any character. I talked about how if they're an assist trophy or costume, they have a 1% chance. If they're a spirit though, their chances remain the same. Being a spirit doesn't change anything. So Rex may not have a chance, but Pyra and Nithra do. Because Pyra's a spirit. Shantae was a spirit. I completely missed that on stream. And people have been eating up the whole Shantae thing. Shantae is probably... Which, yeah, it sucks she wasn't an assist trophy like Shovel Knight. But Shantae's still cool. I still like her. I'm not good at her games. I still have not played Half Genie Hero. I need to do that. But no, Shantae's a cool... it's cool, because, right, I doubt... If they were still doing assist trophies, I kind of doubt she would have been, but now that they're just using JPEGs, it kind of opens it up. It is... You know, and my one thing with the JPEGs is I wish they were more, like, original art than just, like, you can clearly just see what, like, promotional material and whatnot the JPEGs were taken from. It would have been way more interesting if they were all, like, original, like, drawn assets, stuff drawn by, like, creators of the game, which, I mean, they still kind of are, but you know what I mean, right? That would have made them way more special. It was like artwork we had if it was artwork we had never seen of these characters before. It brings a new depth to them, makes them don't just feel like hey, collect JPEGs. I keep calling them JPEGs for a reason, because there's really nothing special about them. Came behind me. But yeah, the leak, and you know, some people are butthurt about it. I'll fully admit that. I kind of was, and I still have, like I said, I still have hope for Banjo-Kazooie and Gina, and Rex and Pyrus. Even though they weren't in the leak, I figured they were never going to be in the game from like the base game. I always figured they were going to be DLC. God, that skin just ruined it. I should show that when I get back. Picture video. Because it didn't take me that long, but I think it's really funny. It sums up my thoughts perfectly. Stupid blasters, man. A weapon I should like, but I just can never get into it. I can never get into blasters, no matter how hard I try. Just not my style. Yeah, I hope people won't be butthurt for too long about it. Hopefully they'll just freaking get over it. It didn't happen, and the game's still amazing. Because that was, what, Tim Geddes, where he just, you could tell he was so, like, the directing, because he was such a big promoter of the Grinch League. Which, again, and I don't think, like, talking about it makes him any less... Like, it makes him any less fallible or anything, whatever the word I'm looking for is, credible, because there was serious evidence going both ways. It was a really competent leak. Whether that was on purpose or just coincidence, who knows? I still think I mean, like I said, I expected Derek to be against it, but I think his big argument was that it was blurry, and the Banjo-Kazooie looked like the Smashified one, or was the Smashified one, which it looked like it, but it clearly wasn't. It was in a different pose. I wonder if we'll ever find out who made it. I doubt it, because again, the internet will murder them. But it'd be interesting. Give me a minute. I'm gonna go get some water or something, and then I'll pull up my thingy and do the thing. Okay, here's my thingy. Let me, I think it's this one. Yeah, there it is. This was what I put on Twitter. This sums up my feelings for the Rex thing perfectly. Yep, that's it. Just look at him. Tell me there's a god. I should have changed God to tell me there's a Kirby. That's been my joke ever since the thing. Of just like, you just substituting the word Kirby, the word God with Kirby, because, you know, Kirby is a being of infinite power who constantly kills evil gods in his game. Because of course that's how Kirby works. Yeah. Oh god, I remember that shit. I haven't been to the movies in weeks. Ugh. Okay. So, yeah, with that, let's get back into it. So what have I been playing and doing recently? A few months ago, back in like July, I remember I said I had booted up when Just Cause... What was it? Just Cause 2? Or 4? Just Cause 4 was announced. I started playing Just Cause 2 again. Right? Because I love the Just Cause games. I think they're really fun. I need to play 3 again. I'll probably do that when 4 comes out. Because I probably won't get 4 at launch. I booted up Just Cause 2. So for school, I have to listen to these books, and these books are the most boring thing imaginable. Like, that's what I was doing before this. I was listening to books. That's why I started at 10 and not 9, whatever. But, like, when listening to these books, it's just so boring that you need something to do. Like, just sitting there and listening to it is just, oh my god, it kills me. So I was like, okay, I need something to do. I guess I'll boot up Just Cause, because even though I started playing it, I never beat it. Also, same thing with Mini Metro, but I kind of, it's not that I've gotten bored of Mini Metro, but I beat all of the game, but I've beaten all the levels. All I've got left is the challenges. Like, do this level using only one waterway. Do this level only using one station. It's hard. Some of those challenges are, oh god. But that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm just kind of like, sometimes I just need a break after spending like hours just trying to do one challenge, because I'm not great at those. But yeah, I booted up Just Cause, and I beat it. I was like, where I left off, I had like a few faction missions, and then a single campaign mission, and I was done. I was not far away at all. But I finally went back and did it. So, hey, now I'll start 3 again. 3's... I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. But I'll do 3 again. That'll probably be I'll probably do that in December when 4 comes out, because I'm probably not going to pick it up at launch. I rarely buy games at launch. Except for Nintendo games. Nintendo is like the only exception nowadays. But, yeah. The other thing I've been playing is Hollow Knight. I talked about this last month where I booted up Hollow Knight, and finally, like, I quit. I bought it when it came out on Switch. Like, within a month of it coming out on Switch. And then I just never... I got, like, 6 hours in, got bored, and left. Or not got bored, but I just hated the waterworks. The waterworks is a bad area. It's the only area I dislike in the game. I don't care for it. But I hated the waterworks, so I put the game down, came back in October, and yeah, no, I beat the game finally. Last time I think I talked about it, I had just discovered, like, I thought I had discovered the last area. Well, no, I don't remember, honestly. I think I had 2 areas left to go, one of which I knew about. I knew there was one area, and I did that one area, and that worked out fine. The other area, then I beat the game, because as far as I knew, that was the last area, right? I didn't even know it, well, I had speculated it existed. And then I was like, okay, I've done everything. I had like 75, maybe 80% completion. I have not 100%ed it. I know you can get like 115% because games are weird nowadays. But I may do other runs as well. Probably not eminently, but at a later point, I do plan on doing multiple runs. But I beat Hollow Knight, and then I was like, oh yeah, and then I was told there's still another area I didn't discover. It was probably the smallest area in the game. It didn't even have a map, but I just completely missed it. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely making my game of the year list. Definitely. Which we're doing in, not next, I don't know if I'll be doing a Splat and Chat in 2 weeks, but Smash and Chat is December 7th, and then probably the first of the year. The first will probably be my game of the year list. So yeah, that's coming quickly, and yeah, I've kind of got some of it figured out. But I really enjoyed Hollow Knight. While playing Hollow Knight, yeah, I do listen to the music and whatnot, but I also spent a lot of time both playing Hollow Knight. I've also been getting back into Minecraft. I talked about this last time as well. Minecraft, I've just given up on all my earthly desires in Minecraft and just started focusing on doing being a farmer, making a farm with integrity. And yeah, no, honestly, ever since I just gave up on it, I've been enjoying Minecraft a lot more. I did go back, I beat the Ender Dragon, which, the Ender Dragon's bullshit. Anyone who says the Ender Dragon is easy is lying. I wonder, I may actually show that here in a minute, what happened with me and the Ender Dragon, because it isn't pretty. I have a bunch of it recorded on screen capture and whatnot. Not a bunch, but enough of it. So yeah, I did Minecraft, I beat the Ender Dragon, I beat, what's the guy's name? I went to the water temple thingy, did all the stuff in the water temples thingy. So if you have a conduit, which luckily I had a bunch of because buried treasure, which is the easiest way to do it, get the buried treasure. The conduit makes the water temple a joke. Mine didn't have any sponges though, which sucked. It's fun. I've had one spawn where half of the rooms are sponge rooms, so I only have 2. But I did that. I went on a quest to tame ocelots, which didn't end well. I found the Woodlawn Mansion. I think that's what it's called. I found the Woodlawn Mansion. It took me. It was my spawn is 0-0. So, and the Woodlawn Mansion was, I want to say it's 6,000, negative 17,000 or something like that. It's super far away from my spawn. It took forever to get there. I built a nether portal over there, and then just getting back, I must have died 100 times. Because I lost an entire ender chest. It's stupid. But it's 2,000 blocks. It's 2,000 blocks in the nether, which is a lot less, but it's still... It intersects through 3 fortresses, and those things are a pain in the ass. Well, over 3. But while playing, I was like, I'm going to, I have podcasts I listen to, and I meant to talk about this last month, but completely forgot. I've been listening to the Adventure Zone podcast by the McElroy brothers. And I finally, while playing Minecraft, I finished the Adventure Zone. And you know what? It's so good. I'm not going to spoil it. Or I finished Balance, the Balance arc. Spoilers for Hollow Knight. So let's see. This is where I started. I started right here. Like that's my my end portal. I made my way over here. That was my jungle. Found ice spikes around there. Died at some point. Found an igloo. Do I not have anything at the Woodlawn Mansion? That's 15,000 out. That's my nether portal. So it's like 17 something. It's pretty far up. There's a bunch of spoilers for Hollow Knight up there. I haven't done the true ending. I went and did this, got the Elytra. That took forever. But here's my Ender Dragon stuff. Just look at this. You get 3 Ender Dragon bars. It made climbing these towers just impossible. I wonder, some of them you can see better. It was hell. People who say the Ender Dragon's easy are lying. And not just because there's 3 of them. The smoke attack just makes it impossible. That stupid smoke. And then he doesn't actually do that much damage, but his knockback is so strong. Get a potion of, I want to say, slow falling. You can get it with the, is this where I jump off? I think this is where I jump off. Yeah, I suicided more than once. 3 Ender Dragons. And then that stuff lasts a minute. It was hell fighting 3 Ender Dragons. See? Look at them. These towers took forever. Build pathways up towers with endstone. Just word of advice. But what kills me is the fall damage. The fall damage was the biggest pain. That was me. I lost a diamond sword. That sword disappeared. It was hell though. This is somewhere's in the nether. But that's what I've been doing with Minecraft. I've found my love for it again. I've probably put over 80 hours. Oh, I remember that. But yeah, that's been all the video game stuff I've been doing. It's... Oh yeah, I actually killed it. See, slow falling. His knockback damage does nothing with slow falling. Highly recommend it. Better than anything else. But yeah, I played that and I've been listening to the Adventure Zone. And Balance, you know, it's funny. Everyone was always like so I knew how it was gonna end. Because I found the Adventure Zone through a video that spoiled the entire thing. Even still knowing, like, the broad details of what was going to happen, I still recommend it. Balance, it's 69 episodes, over, like, 100 hours of content. And it is amazing. It's so fun. I will admit, I'm not the biggest D&D podcast guy. I mean, I've listened to a few Yogg Pod back in the day. That's what got me into D&D. Crit Juice was hysterical. And while I don't think Adventure Zone was as consistently funny as Crit Juice, from what I remember, it's definitely more engaging. The stories are a lot more interesting. 11th Hour was fantastic. It was so good. And now I just finished it a few days ago, so I'm starting off on the next arc, Commitment, I think it's called, which I'm not entirely sure about, but you know, I'm gonna give it a chance, of course. But I do highly recommend the Adventure Zone. What is that? Oh my god, I'm looking at my list and I just have this topic that's Nintendo versus innovation, and I have no idea what I meant by that. I think that was the idea of how Nintendo always claims, oh, we love innovation. Nintendo, we do innovation here. But how they're hypocrites and it's kind of full of shit, and innovation is not the key to everything. Because while innovation can get us some cool stuff, Breath of the Wild is a great example. It also, the Switch is a good innovation, the DS, I'd argue. The Wii, well, the Wii is something that, I both love the Wii, like, for me as a gamer, the Wii is super important in establishing my taste in video games, but I also think the Wii is kind of garbage, right? As, like, a system, I don't think the Wii is that great. Me and the Wii, it's complicated, basically. But yeah, Nintendo's like, oh, we want innovation. Oh, I remember how this came about. New Super Mario Bros. U. I was like, oh, I'm super excited for, you know, Nintendo talks about innovation, right? I'd argue Mario Odyssey is not that innovative per se. Like, there's nothing that's like, oh, this could only have been, like Mario Galaxy, right? There's nothing like outstanding like Galaxy was in Odyssey. But I was like, you know what Nintendo needs to innovate again? The 2D platform. All their 2D Mario games recently have just been safe, new Super Mario Bros. Games. I want to see Nintendo innovate a new 2D Mario Bros. Game. And that got me thinking about how, oh, Miyamoto says he won't make a new Star Fox or a new F-Zero game because he has nothing new he can add to it, nothing he can innovate. But yet they've made 4 new Super Mario Bros. Games. No, thank you, man. That's... They need to make a new F-Zero game. I know we have others like, what's that called? Hyperlight Drift? Not Hyperlight Drifter. There's another game that's basically just F-Zero, but made by a different company. And that's... Because I'm not even that big of a fan of F-Zero, honestly. But I know there are people who are, and we haven't had an F-Zero game in decades, and it's not like... I haven't heard that they, like the last one sold poorly. Like that, because I think the last one was, either on the Game Boy Advance or the GameCube. And I don't know if people, like, hate it or anything. Right? As far as I know, it did fine for the GameCube. Which, hey, the Switch on sales outpaced the GameCube. We lost. We lost in the very end there. It was so close. We needed the center. Because they have that area. Yeah, no, we still lost. Oh, okay. I was expecting it to, if we had won it to be close. But I guess we have more on their side than I thought. But yeah, no, I think Nintendo and innovation is full of shit. Like, innovation, well, yeah, it got us Breath of the Wild. It's also what killed Star Fox. And then there's just their lack of innovation. Chibi Robo is great. It's so much fun. I made jokes in the Nintendo Direct, in the Smash Direct, about how the Smash Direct is the most loved Chibi Robo we'll ever get from Nintendo. And yeah, no, because it was that stupid Ziplash. I like the original Chibi Robo, but no, innovation and not the lack of it more like it. Because just making a stupid generic platformer is what killed Chibi Robo. It sucks. It's sad. Yeah, that's my problem with Nintendo and innovation. I don't know. I felt like ranting about that. I have my problem with Pokemon because again, this was supposed to come out on the same day as Pokemon Let's Go. That was my original plan, and I'm gonna hold off my thoughts on Let's Go. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even watch the Let's Go stuff on the Treehouse after the Direct. I don't know if I'm picking up Let's Go. Oh, they also announced a Diablo 3 amiibo. It looks really weird. I don't play Diablo 3, so I know nothing about it. I was like, what's this music? Something... Do I really pay so little attention to the music that I've never heard this before? This is weird. But one of my thing, something it's annoyed me with Pokemon for years, and it will continue to annoy me Okay, I've definitely heard this before. It was just the starting. What annoys me with Pokemon is how the Pokemon Company treats Pokemon as if they're special. Like, oh, we're not going to allow cloud saves because then people might be able to duplicate Pokemon. My thought is, who cares? It's not like Pokemon have any monetary value, which I think the Pokemon Company actually wants to do. I mean, look at that Pokeball Plus. You only get Mew. Technically, that means Mew has some sort of monetary value. Technically speaking, it's complicated, is what I'm saying. I don't think Pokemon should have any monetary value. They just shouldn't. I mean, that's the better way to do it, because I think that's... Also, I hate event Pokemon. I'm so... I know event Pokemon back with Mew... I know, in the US, it wasn't that big of a deal, from what I understand. Pokemon was just big on its own. But what made Pokemon huge in Japan was Mew. Mew was this rare event Pokemon, and it just blew up. It made Pokemon super popular. And because of that, every game has more and more event Pokemon. Right now, we're seeing Melton, which I don't play Pokemon Go, so... I always think I should get back into it, but then I can just never bring myself to do it. But, Melton, right, which is presumably probably going to be an event Pokemon. Who knows? I mean, I'll admit I actually do kind of like Melton. Like, I think it's like a perfect, like, just Pokemon. Like, it's kind of goofy, but that's kind of why I love it. But yeah, that happened at some point. I've been really, ever since Sun and Moon came out, everything Pokemon related since then, I felt very disconnected on. Which is kind of a problem. Also, Junichi Masuda is stepping down from director of Pokemon games. I think he didn't direct, I want to say he didn't direct X and Y. Or maybe his first game directing was X and Y? I don't entirely remember. But yeah, he's stepping down, and maybe he wants to move. I don't know if he's stepping down from the Pokemon Company entirely, or if he's just gonna go do his own thing, or if he's just not directing the next one. But yeah, that's happening as well. But yeah, I hate how Nintendo, the Pokemon Company, this is more of a Pokemon Company problem. How they treat Pokemon as if they're special when they clearly aren't. Pokemon aren't special. Let's see. And yeah, that was a bunch of my problems with Pokemon. I don't know where that came from. That was just ugh. And then again, because there's no Pokemon Let's Go. To end it off, let's talk about the PlayStation Classic. PlayStation Classic. I'm looking for the games list. Pepsi, man. Oh, I should find that as well. So this got announced just a few days ago, and I am disappointed by it. So it's Battle Arena Toshiden, Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Final Fantasy VII, Grand Theft Auto, Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Metal Gear Solid, Mr. Driller, Overworld, Apes Odyssey, Rayman, Resident Evil Director's Cut, Revelations Persona, Ridge Racer Type 4, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Siphon Filter, Tekken 3, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, Twisted Metal, and Wild Arms. Some of those games I think are good to have on. Tekken 3 is a good choice. Twisted Metal, I guess I'm fine with, but I would have preferred Twisted Metal 2. Or at least everyone tells me Twisted Metal 2 is a better game, and I have no reason not to believe them. Abe's World Odyssey is fine. I would have also loved Abe's World Exodus. That would have been a cool one to have. Rayman is a weird one. I think it may be Rayman. No, I think it's the original Rayman. For some reason, I thought it was the sequel. Some people are disappointed Resident Evil Director's Cut. Resident Evil 2 isn't on there. I'm fine without Resident Evil 2. I think Resident Evil 1 is a fine choice. Metal Gear Solid is good. Jumping Flash we already knew about, but I'm fine with. Intelligent Cube, that's the one I knew nothing about, but I'm actually kind of interested in that one. Final Fantasy VII is a good choice. Grand Theft Auto may be weird, because I know Grand Theft Auto didn't really become famous until Grand Theft Auto 3. But I think Grand Theft Auto, the original, is an interesting, like, piece of gaming history to have on there. I definitely get why it's there. And yeah, that's about it. Which, it's kind of super... There are some good stuff on it, right? And there probably is some stuff that I just don't know about. But it's also the PS2 generation, which is what I argue the second worst generation in gaming. Just because we had just gotten 3D graphics and we didn't know what to do with it. Right? We're still new that 3D graphics was young. I'm looking for my list of... Oh god. I have a list of games that weren't on the PlayStation Classic that I thought were super disappointing not to be on there. I'm trying to find it real quick. I think it's this one. Yeah, here it is. But there were some games that I pointed out Cat Icarus's video. Kid Icarus, he did like an hour-long video of games he wanted on the PS4 Classic, and the way he talks about those games really made me want to play some of them. I really wish some of these had been on there. The list is Klonoa, Tombi, or Tomba, depending on where you are. Tomba 1 and Tomba 2. Probably the second one. Again, the second Twisted Metal. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I said on Twitter, Symphony of the Night was my deal breaker. It was the game I wanted the most, because I've never played Symphony of the Night, and I've kind of been on a Castlevania. I was kind of on a Castlevania stretch this year. It's kind of over, or at least it's slowed, because I'm not really playing any other games right now. But Symphony of the Night is a big one, and I get it's being remade, or it's being re-released, but still, that's no excuse not to have it on here. That one disappoints me the most. That and Klonoa. Abe's World's Exodus. I have Spider-Man on here, even though I didn't expect that to be here. Cool World, which is just, it's from Cat Icarus's video. It actually looks interesting. Medieval, which is also getting an HD remake. Oh my god, I didn't talk about the Banjo-Kazooie stuff, did I? Shit, I'll talk about that in a moment. That'll be our ending one. Medieval, which is getting a remake, but... So I kind of see why that one's not on there. That's the one... That and the Crash and Spyro games, I get it. Okay, they have remakes if you have a PS4. Not everyone does. At least Crash 2 and Spyro 3 should have been on there. But those are the two, because they're important parts. But okay, I kind of get that. Crash Team Racing though definitely should have been. Crash Team Racing is what a lot of people say is like the best racing game. Wouldn't know, never played it. Same thing with Diddy Kong Racing, never played it, wouldn't know, but that better be on the N64 Classic. Bishi Bashi Special is just, it looked fun. It's kind of like a WarioWare game. It looks fun. Much like Spider-Man, I knew it wasn't going to be on there, but it would have been cool. And then Wipeout. Wipeout 3 specifically, I think. Or is it just Wipe 3 Out? I don't know how it works. I don't know if it's the third one or... Again, which has no reason not to be on there. Really. They could have easily removed, like, one of the other ones I didn't give a shit about. Like, Cooler World or whatever. Or not Cooler. Whatever. Just one of the ones... One of the racing games. One of the racing games is fine. I think it's Gran Turismo. But the other one... I do not give a shit about. They could have removed Destruction Derby. They could have removed Cool Borders. I don't know what Battle Arena Toshinden is. But the PS4 the PlayStation Classic is disappointing. Like, there are so many great games that are just not on there that I wanted to be on there. And, like, Symphony of the Night and Klonoa would have been enough for me. Because there are definitely some ones I am interested in. I've never played Final Fantasy VII. I've never played the original Metal Gear. Oh, and there's also, like, Ape Escape or whatever that game is, that it uses twin sticks, and you knew that wasn't going to be on there. And I did say, I have the console pre-ordered, and I have been considering canceling my pre-order. I haven't yet. I still have a month to decide. Less than that. But the thing is, there is still a... If it's anything like the NES and SNES classics, these things are going to be hackable. People hacked the NES Classic in like a month or two, And people will hack the SNES Classic within a day because it used the same infrastructure. So people will be able to hack the PlayStation Classic. And if they can, well, I cannot legally advocate it. There is totally a way you could put some of the games that were missing on it. Which is one of the reasons I'm considering keeping my pre-order, so picking it up anyways. Not like I'm legally advocating doing that or anything. And again, it's not Nintendo who gets super fucking flattered. Fuck Nintendo. Oh, and fuck Konami as well for the same. I'm still mad about that. I'm still mad about that. But I do think the PlayStation Classic is kind of underwhelming. They're going, instead of going for like the biggest, most popular games, they're going for like early generation PS4, which some people have definitely, like that's the reason why Twisted Metal, the first one and not the second one, is on there. Even though they went for the popular choice of Tekken 3, which is a lot of people say is better than Tekken 2. It's just weird. The choices are weird. Some of the licensing could have been a problem, but like Wipeout is owned by PlayStation. There was no reason for it not to be on there. Right? It's just they dropped the ball. But hey, maybe more. And the other thing with the whole modding thing is a lot of people were talking about this on Twitter. I was following like Twitter and whatnot, and all people were. Oh god, my voice. Oh shit. Oh god, my voice just straight. Oh god, that hurt. A lot of people were saying that, hey, if you're disappointed by the PlayStation Classic, pick up a PS Vita. It has, like, the only game it doesn't have... The only game it has, or it doesn't have... It didn't have, like, 4 of them, and of those 4, the only one I'm slightly interested in was Jumping Flash, that it didn't have. So that would make, by proxy, Jumping Flash its exclusive. But just pick up a Vita. That's what Twitter was kind of leaning towards. And that's also something I am seriously considering. Should I pick up a Vita? Because I know it's a dead console right now. Right, because Sony didn't support it. But I guess it has basically all of these classic games. It has Symphony of the Night. It has Klonoa. All the ones I'd want to play. God, we went into their... We lost. Easy. But we went into their base, they went into ours. So I am seriously considering picking up a Vita, because I can buy a used one for, like... some people are saying you can get one for really cheap. The cheapest I've seen is like 100, at least on like an eBay, and or at least on like those local selling sites like Craigslist and Let's Go and Facebook Marketplace, right? That's the cheapest I've personally seen. Let's see, is this a that's a P? We'll do one more. But yeah, I can see the problem. Let's see, a PS Vita Slim with like 5 games for 150. I don't know if that's any good. Just a bunch of, I think these are Xbox 360 games. Ooh, Vice City. I love Vice City. Favorite Grand Theft Auto. God. You know, we're in that weird point with old gaming where it's just becoming where it's just old enough to start being expensive again. I can get an original PlayStation for $40. Wow. Let me see. Oh, wow. We've been doing for 2 hours. Yeah. I'm just looking at local stuff. PS Vita. Yeah, about $100. $100. $85. Yeah, the common consensus seems to be about oh my god, why is that two? What games would you have that make it $200? FIFA, Assassin's Creed. Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, I don't know. I'm considering it. And probably buying a used one is fine. I know for some people some people have a problem with it, but I know not everyone does. We're actually yeah, we're all dead. See. Wiped out the universe. We'll do a single round of Clan Blitz, and I'll talk about Banjo-Kazooie, and then we'll end it off. But yeah, PS4 Classic, it is underwhelming. I'm probably still going to do it just because there are some of these things I want, and we'll probably be able to mod it. I mean, we can mod the NES Classic to put Chrono Trigger on it, the one game that it was sorely missing. Put the original 6 Mega Man games on the NES Classic. And I know, and I wonder, like, even if we have to, like, remove some games to add in other games, which we probably won't, I'll be fine with that. Like, I'll gladly take off, like, Destruction Derby to add Klonoa. Alright, I'm fine with that. But I guarantee people will find a way to hack it, especially because it's not connected to the internet or anything. There's no de novo in it. I'll probably wait a month, though. I don't know. I'm still tossing around the idea. Only time will tell. But lastly, the thing I meant to talk about earlier and I just completely forgot. Banjo-Kazooie. So along with the Smash Bros. Leaks, is this map different? Maybe it's just because I've never played this in this mode before. I don't remember this having where's the goal? Why can I not? God damn it! I could not. I wanted to kill them, and then the other ones all just showed up on me. Shit. Yeah, listen. I don't think I've ever played Humpback Cupshack in Clan Blitz before. Is it just me, or does it feel really slow? So Banjo-Kazooie. So the stars seem to be aligning for a new Banjo-Kazooie. In Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts hits its 10-year anniversary on, I want to say, the 11th? Really soon. Now, that's Nuts and Bolts. And I guess there's a line in Nuts and Bolts that's like, come back in 10 years and see how everything's changed, if anything has changed at all. It's a really interesting line, to say the least. And it does kind of leave credence to a new Banjo-Kazooie game. Which I do think is theoretically possible. Like, okay, I got summoned at least. If we can get a few more in, I don't think anyone's over there, because we're all dead. But, so in 10 years, come back, and we are about to hit 10 years since Nuts and Bolts. People, I think that Nuts and Bolts is a complicated one. Because, like, as an actual game, Clan Blitz feels super laggy. Oh my god, this is bad. But Nuts and Bolts, I think, is actually, like, a fine game. The problem is, it's connected to the Banjo-Kazooie license. I've said before, if you just called it, like, Bird and Bear Nuts and Bolts, people would probably like it a lot more. Like, that's like, legitimate. Oh, I was looking at that. I was looking for more clowns, but nothing showed up. But I think Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts is a fine game. I've definitely played much worse. Hello, Reefer. Who's a salty boy? Who's a salty boy? Yes, yes. Give me a minute. Give me a minute and a half, Wolfer. I'll go get you something. Be patient. But yeah, so the stars are aligning. Microsoft also on the same day, around the 10th and 11th, they have like a conference scheduled. And a lot of people are speculating that we're going to get a new Banjo-Kazooie game. I don't think we're going to get a new Banjo-Kazooie game, but I do think we are going to get a remake of the original two games. Because remaking old games seems to be really popular right now. Or games from the whatever generation of consoles that was. look, see Spyro and Crash and Medieval, right? All games from the 5th generation that are being remade with huge success. Oh my god, he's under my shit. So yeah, I think seeing a remake of Nuts and Bolts does seem very likely. Or not Nuts and Bolts, the original 2 Banjo-Kazooie games. It could even come to Nintendo Switch. And if that happens, if Banjo-Kazooie does get a remake of the first 2 games, in the same vein as the Crash and Spyro trilogies, I think the chances of an HD remake increase by like or the chances of him being on Smash increases by like 100%. I mean, it goes from like a 10-90 split to like a 40-60 split. Not 100. But that's if this is real. If we do get either a new Banjo game, which I doubt, or a remake of the first 2 games, which again, remakes are super popular. It makes sense. I think that's the more likely probability here. With just everything that's going on, it could not happen. This could be nothing. This could just be random stuff. Because there was also, like, the Banjo trademark also got registered. There's no, like, leak here. These are just, like, speculation, people talking about it throughout, like, message boards. But there is a possibility. It could. This is totally... We could totally see a new Banjo-Kazooie game. Probably not until next year. But that would be really amazing. I'd totally be down for that. I'd be down for a remake, because even though I love Banjo-Kazooie, I love Banjo-Kazooie in the same way I love Sonic. I don't actually really like the games, but I like the character. And the only reason I say I don't actually hate Banjo-Kazooie like I hate Sonic games. I've just never played them. I say the 5th generation of consoles is the worst, but I say that because I've never played them. I've never owned a 5th generation console. N64, Sega Saturn, and PlayStation 1. Never owned them. And saying they're the worst is all in, like, retrospect. And when I say the worst, I mean, like, second worst. And because it's hard to get worse than Odyssey. And I have soft spots for the Atari 2600, even if it is ultimately flawed. And I might have a soft spot for the PlayStation when it comes out, because I probably will do it. But that's just speculation. It may happen. It may not. Don't get your... I mean, if the Grinch League is anything to go by, do not get your hopes up. It's probably wrong. It is probably wrong. Yes, Woofer. I know you love playing with your Dabal. But he's angry at me. I'm gonna go play with him for a little bit. Yeah, and that's all I gotta go. This Splat Chat, some of this went well, some of this was a total utter train wreck. So it's the average Splat Chat. Next week, we will be back with Wind Waker. I will be doing the Earth Temple, probably. We'll probably also do some map exploring and filling in and whatnot. And then the following week, we will either do more Wind Waker and be back with Splat Chat. Let me check my calendar. Oh, next week is Extra Life. Well, I think also, so is this week. But I know next week is. Yeah, so the following week we may be back. Then I'm taking Thanksgiving off, deal with it, not like anyone watches. And then back with more Wind Waker, and then Smash Bros. Yeah, that's the plan for the month anyways. Yeah, it'll probably change at some point. But I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time. Peace.